Ahoy there, and welcome to Nautical Tales and Nature Trails, recreation in southeastern Connecticut and southern Rhode Island. I'm your host, Will Morrissey, and I'm here along with my wife, Bridget Morrissey, who's the producer. She's the one that put all these ideas into the book because she's racing up and down the shoreline all the time from Old Lyme to Charlestown, helping people find their new home. And she knows all these different places to go to, whether it's in Mystic or Mashantucket or up in Uncasville. So we put together a whole bunch of things for all the people that are moving into the area, especially the folks that are coming to build submarines, or the brave souls that are driving the submarines, or the students coming to UConn at Avery Point, Mitchell College, Connecticut College, or the cadets over at the United States Coast Guard Academy. Got all kinds of new folks coming into the area, plus visitors. Mystic was recognized as the top 5 destination for summer traffic last year. So we got a lot of people coming in and they don't know everything that's going on. And today we're going to talk about short trails. We're going to talk about nature trails from home plate to first base to second base to third base and back to home. And today we've got Tim Lebling, the president of the Stonington Little League, with us today. Hi, Tim.
Thanks, Will. It's great to be here today.
Hey, Tim, can you tell us all about how you got involved with baseball?
Absolutely. So my family, we moved here 10 years ago, where we started our family. And as soon as the kids wanted to start to play sports, obviously baseball and softball was the obvious choice for them, and we just had a ball getting into it. So right away from T-ball all the way up, we got involved with Stonington Little League, and which was formerly known as the Pawcatuck Little League. And quickly, as we became involved, we just saw how an amazing organization it was and is, and so we just continued to put our efforts towards it. And the more and more time we spent time out at the complex, it's just the best place to spend. It's the best backyard any child could possibly have. So it really was important that we became involved. And so I was fortunate enough to become the president this past November. And so it's just a new era of a league that's been around since 1953. So it's just many continuing the legacy of some incredible people. So I'm honored to be wearing that hat at this point.
Oh, that's great. Well, you mentioned T-ball right off the bat. We've got a whole bunch of different leagues. We got a video to play on T-ball. Let's roll that one.
T-ball is an annual way for Little League to reach new families all around the globe. With this first session, leagues have a great chance to provide newcomers to baseball and softball an enjoyable, physically demanding, and fundamentally sound introduction to the sport. The Little League T-ball program equips coaches with all the necessary resources to foster an atmosphere where players may acquire the game's skills in a fun and energetic setting.
So you've got some pretty good stories to tell about T-ball, don't you?
So yeah, so T-ball is where the magic happens. It's our largest league, and we'll have upwards to 6 or 8 teams every season, and these are the 4 to 6 year olds, and these are the boys and girls who are just so excited to get a hat, get a t-shirt, and be out on that field. And it can be chaos out there, but at the same time, it's also the time when we have all these parents involved. It's a very heavily parent involved. We might have 5 or 6 parents out on the field helping their kids in softball and baseball, and it's really just it's the pure joy of kids playing a sport, and so that's I can just go over many kids who I remember were playing T-ball and now they're playing up in a league, but those kids will always remember those first couple years of T-ball that they were, and really the most important thing is have fun, play the game, go to the concession stands and get your slushie.
Yeah, you mentioned that. It's like herding cats, having
sure
them running
is.
around the field and trying to teach them to go up the first base line instead of the third base line, and just all the basics. But it's great. And then you go into the minor leagues. We got AA and AAA.
Yes. So that league is what I like about that league is that's when things start clicking. It's at that age in boys and girls where That 7 to 9 where they're understanding that when they throw the ball it goes straight, or they learn how to catch the ball, or they learn how to watch the ball, and they start moving around the bases. So we have two things that really happen at that time. One is that they just get a better understanding of the game. So they, like you said, they know which base they're going to run at. And they start seeing that desire and that urge to just want to play more. And then the second thing is that pitching development. And one thing that we're putting a lot of effort into the league right now is teaching the kids the fundamentals from the get-go. So whether it's softball pitching or whether it's baseball pitching, we want to teach them right at the beginning. It's not about how fast I can throw the ball, because when you throw the ball as fast as you can, 9 out of 10 times it's not going to be in the strike zone. And so to watch a game with 14, 15 walks in one inning could be so we're really trying to develop these kids, and that's you see that happen from the AA when it's coach pitch, and then you give the ball to that player and say, okay, you're on the mound today, and that nervousness kicks in, and then you see them settle down. So it's really an amazing transitional time for the girls and boys to watch.
Well, we've got another video to show on that on AA and AAA baseball. Let's roll that.
Volunteer managers and coaches in the Little League Minor Baseball Division run practices quickly and effectively all season long. The goal of the program is to provide participants with the skills necessary to become competitive baseball players by teaching them the game's basics, while maintaining its emphasis on the significance of team building and chemistry. Each week's practices and games provide fun and excitement. Coaches remind us that Little League is primarily a recreational sport whose main goal is not to produce professional baseball players, but rather to foster the development of healthy, well-rounded individuals.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're not looking to put people right into the major leagues. I mean, once in a while, somebody from the area does make it that far, but, you know, we are trying to teach team leadership, teammates, you know, just all the fundamentals of baseball.
Right. It's baseball to me and softball to me, especially in our communities, and there are other programs. There's like you mentioned, there's travel ball, and kids can take any sport to a different level. Where we are with Stonington Little League is that we're trying to build character, not only with the players but with the coaches and the parents, and we want to teach sportsmanship and just really have fun. It's our coaches, it's the board's responsibility to create childhood memories, and all of us who played baseball, softball, or any sport for that matter can remember those exact days out on that field when they were a child, or those days that they were doing that particular game or that play, and we get that opportunity. I mean, it's really this short window for some of the children or some of our kids, but for all the kids, it's a short window that we get to create these opportunities and these memories. And I think we have some of the best coaches in the district and the state that feel that passion, that they want to create memories and teach how to love the game.
Well, a lot of memories are made when we get into tournament play, and we move up from AA and AAA, the minor leagues, as we call them, into the major leagues. Tell us a little bit about competition in the major leagues.
So I've had the opportunity to see that transition firsthand with my son this past year, and majors is kind of when it starts to get real. But I think with there's stealing involved, and there's and it's exciting baseball because you have pitchers that are starting to throw different type of pitches. There's strategy involved, and so it's a really fun game to watch on both sides of the softball and baseball, and it's really that where I like, it's baseball and softball IQ, and where the transition is starting to learn the game and get to know the game. The major leagues is when you see those players thinking exactly what their job is going to be when that ball comes to them. So it's the coaches stop yelling for what the kids to do, throw it in, throw it here, throw it here. The kids know what to do. And that's an exciting time when you see a child or even your own child just doing something that you taught them years ago, and you don't say a word, they just do it. And that's where the majors really kind of comes in, and it's the game where you can just sit back as a coach, the game is you can sit back as a parent and just enjoy watching a great game.
Another exciting part about that is when these kids go to school, you know, they've seen each other from T-ball and through AA and AAA, but now they're playing in playoffs, and it's not just North Stonington and Pawcatuck and Stonington and part of Mystic. You're playing against Groton and Ledyard, and you're starting to go around the state. Tell us a little bit about playoffs.
So very true. So we're in District 10, which involves all the way down to East Lyme and Groton up to Ledyard and Mystic. And so where these kids are, some leagues are playing just amongst themselves, and then other leagues are starting to play other programs. So and what's nice about baseball and softball, as well as some of the other sports that we have in our area, is that they get to know some of these other kids. Same thing with across the river in Westerly. Some of these kids are playing together. Well, now they're on a field playing against each other. And what's great is that you see this amazing competitiveness, and you know they of course they want to win this game, and there's some emotions involved. But the best thing to see is that as soon as that last out is happening, you have two teams from two different towns hanging out, buying slushies together, or getting their slushies and chatting about the game. So it's that true. It's a true community effort, but now we've just expanded our community all the way through our district, and we've got a really amazing district director that is the same way, is just very passionate about baseball and softball. And so when you take what we have at Stonington and you multiply that by 7 in 7 different communities, it's a special group of people that we get to hang out with 4, 5, 6 nights a week sometimes.
Well, we have another video that explains the majors a little bit. Why don't we go with that one?
For over 70 years, Little League has been a beacon of community and youth development in Pawcatuck and North Stonington. This presence is not just about playing baseball and softball, it's about instilling values like teamwork, sportsmanship, and perseverance. Every child who steps onto a Little League field is embarking on a journey of personal growth. They learn to celebrate their victories, gracefully accept their losses, and, most importantly, understand the value of working together towards a common goal. Whether they're from Pawcatuck or North Stonington, they're part of one big family, the Stonington Little League. It's not just a game, it's a life-changing experience, shaping the leaders of tomorrow.
Well, you also mentioned, before we get into the senior league, you mentioned softball. And I see that we're getting more divisions within the Stonington Little League than we've had in the past. I mean, wasn't it just 2 divisions? Now we got 4 divisions?
Now we have 4 divisions, and I give a lot of credit of that to some of the coaches that have played, the alumni that is now currently at the high school or even coaching it in college, and the players that are coming out of the league right now. Is that you're seeing an amazing passion for softball. So we're starting those kids at 4 and 5, and we're starting to teach them T-ball all the way up to coach pitch into player pitch, and the senior division. And so we were very successful last year where our seniors girls won our district, and in amazing fashion, some amazing pitching, some pretty exciting games. And then they did very well going into the state. So with something like that coming off the heels of that, our softball program is just going to continue to grow. And softball is such an amazing game to watch. And so we're really lucky that program, and that's really something that we really want to see continue to grow, and see those girls out there playing softball.
I know we're going to talk about sponsors later, but I like over at the softball field where we got Block Island Ferry sponsoring the scoreboard. I mean, that's a beautiful job they did for us last year.
Yeah,
but we also have a little video on softball, so why don't we run with that?
Welcome to Stonington Little League, where the spirit of community and the love of softball unite. In Pawcatuck and North Stonington, our softball skills program isn't just about playing a game. It's about building a community. Here, young girls learn more than just how to throw, catch, and bat. They learn teamwork, discipline, and the joy of achieving goals together. Each pitch, each inning, and each game in the Stonington Little League is an opportunity for personal growth and community engagement. Our dedicated volunteers and the support from local sponsors help us foster a nurturing environment where every girl can shine. So, let's play ball and grow stronger together.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see the girls do so well last year.
It was the buzz around the park, and where in the past, people were gathering because a few players or one of the baseball teams was kind of going on this run. Well, people were following these girls, and as they were even playing through the district and into the states. People just couldn't wait to hear scores, and you'd hear the scores, and then it would get run around the park if they were away, and it was a really exciting time for us, and I really look forward to those days again.
Well, we saved this league for last, because how many times can you say that a particular Little League in any part of the state was state champions 4 years in a row?
4 years in a row. Little League baseball is just such a a mainstay in the state of Connecticut, and we've had some great programs, and we've got this program that's on the far southeast corner of the state, and that these boys have represented us so well in winning 4 state championships, and we couldn't be more proud of those boys, and I think it's one of those things where it doesn't surprise you when you go out there and you see the way they practice, and you see these coaches and really the work and these boys. We talk about the love of baseball and making memories. There's some boys that have been on this team for 3 years, maybe even 4 years. But so talking about a childhood memory to go to Maine and represent the state of Connecticut. So it's
twice in Maine.
Twice in Maine, and
it would have been more if COVID wasn't there.
That's true. That's true. And so. So it's pretty, and our juniors were runners up, and they were also, so these, I've only been with the league a short period of time. There's been folks that have been with the league and for decades, but to follow some of these senior players and to pull those pictures up of when they were playing t-ball, and so so there's over 10 years, if not more, of time on North Anguilla Complex and playing there for Stonington, and that's a proud moment for us.
Yeah, well, let's get fired up and watch a little bit about the senior league at Stonington Little League.
Perfect. It does get you excited for the game already.
It does.
So.
Now, we've had some really good teams, but they're playing on really, really good fields. And you just let a little reconstruction project going on the red field where majors mostly play, and on the blue field where the softball teams play. So new infields there.
So something that we're really proud of is that we have 2 new Duro Edge fields, which is essentially a synthetic dirt that helps wick the rain off. It's what you'll see in the major league stadiums and the college fields and some of the really nice fields. And these are stunning. And if you haven't been over there since we put them on, you have to go over and take a look at them or see us on opening day when that. But they completely took the old dirt out, and we even found, when we took out the home plate, we found bricks buried underneath home plate. At some point in the last 40, 50 years, they thought maybe that was good for drainage. So this is something that just watching this, and we've got some pictures of the renovation. This is going to allow for safer play. It's going to allow for all these. I was over there this morning, and you can walk on the field 4 hours after this rain, and that's what it does. That's why Major League ball players can play in the rain. So we're going to be hosting more All-Star games. We're going to be hosting more sectionals, more tournaments this year, and really showcasing this amazing complex that we have here at Stonington.
Well, you can explain a little bit more while we're running the video on the reconstruction.
Absolutely. So
Welcome to the
part of the
world of
process
Little League,
was
the crack of
to
the bat and the
remove
cheer of
the
the
old
crowd
dirt
bring our
from the
community
existing
together.
field,
Today
and we
we're
went
focusing
down.
on the unsung heroes of our
I believe it
beloved
was
sport,
6
the fields
inches to
themselves.
really get
In
all
Stonington,
that dirt out. What a beautiful day that was. And so we went down, and then it was put a layer of dirt, and then you'll see here that we're putting this layer of synthetic Duro Edge. And so what that does is that for this particular field, the water's going to be wicking off, and it's going to be just the baselines. You'll see the grass come back into the infield. For the softball, it's completely Duro Edge. And so that will allow the water to wick off to the sides. In the softball field, the water is going to wick towards the outfield. But essentially what this means is that we are going to be able to play on some of the flattest surfaces and some of the most beautiful fields in our district. And so we can't wait to get out there on opening day, and we and I think all the kids and coaches are going to be so happy to play on these fields and really not have to cancel a game or practice because of rain. So this is them leveling it out. That's our blue field. That's our softball field. Kind of looking past the concession stands, the red field is just beyond. So what a beautiful place that you'd want to spend your evening. So,
No, it's a great place, and you see that 70 years and continuing to grow. I mean, it's got to be one of the finest places to play baseball and softball in the whole state. I mean, Bristol might be getting jealous.
Hey, well, I can't tell you how many times, and it makes me proud to be part of the board and president of the board, and that how many times coaches want to play on our fields, but especially the folks and the parents who come to our facility for the first time, and they make a point to pull somebody aside and say, this is an amazing place. So we are very fortunate, and we've got a new playscape that's going to be going in place, and so it's just getting better. And I can't thank all the board presidents, all the boards that were before me, to just kind of keep that ball rolling, whether it's white or yellow. We're going to keep growing this facility and making it into the showcase of Southeast Connecticut.
Okay. Well, another part of Little League is getting sponsors because there's a lot that goes into this. I mean, this reconstruction project, that had to be kind of expensive. And we've got a video that kind of goes into detail about what goes into actually running a Little League. So let's run that video.
Managing these obligations is key to providing a great experience for our young athletes and the community. Firstly, registration fees. These are crucial as they directly cover the basic costs of our league operations, ensuring every player gets the chance to enjoy the sport. Equipment costs are a significant part of our budget. This includes not only the purchase of baseballs, bats, and helmets, but also maintaining uniforms, catcher's gear, and other necessary equipment. High-quality equipment is vital for the safety and enjoyment of our players. Our field maintenance fees cover the upkeep of baseball and softball fields, including fences, dugouts and press boxes. Well-maintained fields are essential for both safety and the quality of play. Insurance, both liability and accident, for players, coaches, and volunteers is a non-negotiable expense. This ensures everyone involved is protected, allowing us to focus on the game. Umpire fees are another important part of our budget. Paying for experienced umpires ensures fair play and professional management of games. Our league affiliation fees to the Little League organization are vital. They provide us with support and the rights to participate in official Little League activities, enriching our league's experience. Utilities, including water, electricity, and sewage, are ongoing expenses for our facilities. These are essential for the day-to-day operations of our league. Concession cost, covering food items, equipment, and supplies, not only serve our community, but also help in raising additional funds for the league. Tournament fees come into play when we participate in outside tournaments. These fees are essential for offering our teams competitive and developmental opportunities. In marketing and promotion, we invest in advertising and promotional materials. This is key to attracting new players and keeping our community engaged with the league. Administrative expenses are crucial for smooth operations. This includes office supplies, postage, and other day-to-day costs. For playoff seasons, travel expenses such as transportation, lodging, and meals become significant, especially for teams competing at higher levels. Fundraising expenses are vital. The costs associated with organizing events are investments in our league's future. Lastly, coaching and training expenses. Investing in coaching clinics, training materials, and educational resources is key to the development of our players and coaches. In summary, managing these financial obligations is fundamental to the success of the Stonington Little League. Each aspect of our budget reflects our commitment to providing a safe, enjoyable, and competitive environment for our players. Thank you for your continued support.
Well, we got to sort of wrap this up, but you've got something really quick to tell us about.
Yeah, but real quick, I can't say enough for our volunteers. The one thing about Stonington Little League is we are a 100% volunteer organization, and so I can't thank our volunteers enough, including our board members and our sponsors, for allowing this to happen. And yes, I'll be taking a group of kids down to the Dominican Republic to play baseball down there. Just as a fun thing. Hopefully we're going to make it a future trip for Stonington Little League. But we have an open house on March 6th. Our board meeting for that month will be open to the public, and we're going to encourage everyone to come out, become a coach, become a volunteer, come out and join us at the Stonington Little League, because we are a special organization in our community.
Now, where will that take place?
That's going to be at the high school in the Commons area. So it'll be 7 o'clock. And so we'll have some special guests coming there, but we want folks to come out there.
Well, I want to thank you, Tim, for coming today. I mean, that was a great show, and I love watching the kids play. We've got some more shows coming up, more stuff about nature trails in the future. We've had a lot going on, and we want to wish Stonington Little League the best. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next show.